Hello everyone, welcome to GoTarryn TV. This is Dr. T, PhD, the prodigy of sports psychology, here today to welcome a voice from Christmas past. That's right, a former guest who used to be on here on GoTarryn TV, who I haven't spoken to all year long, is going to be rejoining us here momentarily. Now, before I tell you who she is, I'd like to ask everyone out there if you please be so kind as to like this video, leave us a comment, and share it with all of your friends and family out there. Now, I ran into this next guest here just a few days ago over at the Family Life Center in Buckhead, where we mutually personal train. Well, now she is actually doing health coaching. She's doing that virtually, and she's also exploring this great country of ours via hiking, via kayaking, and via on a camper. And that is Susan Longley with Finish with a Flourish. That's right. I will be speaking to Susan Longley, the personal trainer who specializes with senior fitness, but also now offering health coaching. I want to talk to her about that and catch up with her because there is so much to get caught up on with her, and I can't wait because she is my favorite guest, and I'm just truly thankful that she's accepted the invite to come back here on GoTarryn TV to play catch up with us and to tell us about her experiences out there all over the place. So I can't wait. She'll be on here momentarily. We'll be joined again with Susan Longley, who's going to be sharing her experience with us right here on GoTarryn TV. And remember, with GoTarryn Health and Fitness, it's your time, it's your investment, it's your life. We'll be right back.
I'm doing great. How about you, Taryn?
Good, thank you. And again, great to hear from you too.
And congratulations. I don't think I've talked to you since you got your PhD, so I just want to say that for the record. Congratulations.
Oh, you're too kind. Thank you. Yeah, actually, you're right. It has been, last time you and I talked, that's right, I was still in school, so...
you were, right.
Yeah,
right.
So it's been a little bit of time here, but I'm just so happy to get a chance to catch up with you, and again, especially as we record this very super early for both of us, so I can't thank you enough for your time, and, it's great, it's always, it's great to see. I know you've been on such an adventure and, just traveling and there's just so much to catch up on. I guess that's the first question to you. How have you been? How's this year been? Everything with, of course, the pandemic and all the craziness going on right now.
Still going on.
Yeah, exactly. It is still going on.
Now we've got Omicron coming on at us. So.
Yeah.
I
mean, what's your thought on that whole thing, Susan, with how we've reacted as a country, the masks, the vaccines, the social distancing, the fighting?
Well, I got my vaccine, as soon as I could.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got my booster, so I've just tried to protect myself as much as possible. And but I've been on the road, like you said. I've been doing a lot of traveling this year. And what I do when I travel is I have a car camper.
Okay.
So went to a lot of the national parks in the eastern part of the country this year. I was at the Great Smoky Mountains.
Nice.
I was at Indiana Dunes, Mammoth Cave, and then I drove up the Blue Ridge Parkway and Skyline Drive.
Oh, wow.
And they have campgrounds all along the parkway, so I didn't have to get off the parkway. I would just stop for a couple of days, and I would travel for maybe like 100 miles a day, and then I would stop and camp, and I would go find a place to hike, or found a wonderful Galax, Virginia has a country music venue.
Huh.
So it was outdoors. So the stage was outdoors and all the seating was outdoors. So I basically was outdoors the whole time.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I was sleeping in the park and I didn't do anything other than to go into a grocery store periodically and restock my supplies. I was outdoors, so I wasn't worried about it too much.
That's amazing. As an experience, Susan, how was that in terms of things like reflection and just meditation and thinking? And
it's just winter. The more time I spend outdoors, the more time I have to spend outdoors. It's like it just becomes in fact, I was just up at Great Smoky Mountain National Park a couple of weeks ago, and I'm heading down to Anastasia State Park in St. Augustine.
Okay.
In a couple of weeks. So
Nice.
I'm kind of, now that the weather's changed, now that the weather is winter, I'm going to go down to Florida. So,
Smart.
yeah. So I just love hiking. I've got me a kayak. I had my maiden voyage the other day over at Stone Mountain Lake, and I've been renting kayaks, as I go along, but the problem is it's very hard to carry it with me. So.
Wow. Yeah.
I have a bike that I have a bike rack on the back of my car, so I've got my bike with me, so I can use that for transportation around the campground. So,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm heading out again in February, and this time I'm going to go west. I'm going to go out through Louisiana and Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California, Oregon, Washington, and hopefully I'll end up in Alaska by July.
Oh my God!
So,
Wow.
So I'm just going to get it out of my system, and what I'm doing professionally. Of course, I had to shut down my training business when the gym closed.
Okay.
For the pandemic, and because I work with older people. Even when the gym opened back up, 5 months later,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't want to come back.
Mm-hmm.
They were just really too scared to come back, and I didn't blame them.
Yeah.
So they were waiting for the vaccine. So there really wasn't many of my clients that wanted to come back, for almost a year. So I decided, so I'm kind of switching what I'm doing a little bit, and I'm gonna start doing health coaching
Mm-hmm.
Instead of personal training, because I can do that while I travel.
Yeah, that's smart.
So I'll be talking to people on the phone or via
Mm-hmm.
Zoom. So all I have to do is find a place on the grid. I'm not always on the grid. Like a lot of the national parks, they're not on the grid. But I usually can find a place to drive to so that I could have I could do a call with someone. So
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna kind of switch up what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's tremendous. I mean, that is awesome, Susan. I'm so happy that you've been able to do this. What have you found most rewarding with this whole journey as you look back in the last year or so?
This is something that I wanted to do when I was in my 20s, and I
Okay.
just never let myself do.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels very, very fulfilling to finally do something that I always wanted to do.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. And empowering. And like I said, I love the outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
And just being able to sleep under the stars is just incredible. And, I have a car camper. I have a mattress in my car. So if it's pouring down rain, I have slept in my tent. I slept in my tent in a thunderstorm.
Oh, wow.
In Indiana one time, and it literally thundered and lightning and poured down rain for an hour.
Oh, wow.
But I was dry.
Gosh.
So it was a little bit scary. I was thinking, well, is this lightning going to take me out? Is this going to be it? But it didn't. So I have slept out in the rain. But if it's when I was in the Smokies a couple of weeks ago, it was going down into the 20s every night. So I did stay in my car. I did stay in my car those nights. So,
Wow.
But then I got up and I had my little Chihuahua with me.
Oh.
So he has a little backpack that he hikes in because he only has 3 legs, so he's not a big hiker. So
Okay.
so he has a little backpack that so we kind of experimented, with being on the trails up there with him in the backpack and me doing the hiking, and he was a real trooper. He gets a little bit restless after 3 miles, so I had to let him get out and run around a little bit. Don't tell the ranger, but then put him back in a little bit different position. And he's 14 years old, so he doesn't mind sleeping.
Oh.
So if he's comfortable in the backpack, he'll just doze.
Oh, that's great.
And we were walking along the trail up in the Smokies that goes through the elk meadows.
Okay.
And so the elk just come right up to the trail.
Wow.
They're just looking for something to eat, so they don't bother. They don't care about the people. They just come right up to the trail. So you're walking down the trail, and here's an elk over to the side.
Oh, that's amazing.
So I got some great video, and I was afraid, that he would start barking at them, and I didn't know what what happened. But he didn't.
Huh.
He didn't even notice it. He didn't even notice the elk. I think it was probably too big. He didn't know what it was.
That's funny. Oh, that's amazing. Wow.
So we're having. So he's going to be traveling with me this summer. So.
Yeah, I mean that's tremendous, and I have to assume, Susan, that in doing all this, you must probably be in the best shape you've been. I would guess.
I am.
Yeah,
I am.
with all the
It feels
walking,
so
right?
Great.
Yeah.
And what I do is just that one of the things we were going to talk about today was the water exercise.
Mm-hmm. With the balance, absolutely.
And so I've got my own routine that I do water aerobics. I love to take water aerobics classes when I'm near somebody, just to have that experience.
Right.
I love being with other people, and I love just having somebody lead me and maybe show me some new exercises that I haven't done yet. And
Cool.
But I have my own routine that I've developed. It's really very, very balance focused. It's very core focused.
Okay.
So I'm doing exercises in the water where I'm, I took a lot of Pilates, and a lot of the focus in Pilates is that you keep your body, whether you're on the reformer or whether you're on the, or whether you're doing the mat Pilates, you're holding your core very stable.
Oh, okay.
And you may be moving your legs or your arms, but you pull your rib cage together and you pull your hip bones together and you lock your core into place, and then you move your limbs. It's very much like ballet, like when you watch a ballerina, or a male ballet dancer, their core is very stable, and everything is moving from the core, but the core is just locked down, and that gives you a huge freedom of movement for your limbs, and you're not going to fall because you're so stable in your core. So one of the things I found this summer is, I'm old enough to have silver sneakers, so I can find LA Fitness usually has a pool. Those gyms usually have a pool, and I've got a free membership at LA Fitness. I mean, I just used my silver sneakers number, and they gave me one of those little tags,
so I
can go to any LA Fitness in the country.
Wow.
And go use the pool. And I found a lot of places that didn't have a gym, but they had an outdoor pool, just a community pool. So I would go, for maybe $3 or $4, I could get into the community pool and go do my exercises. So I kept up with a lot of water exercises over the summer. So I was doing a lot of hiking, and I was doing a kayak, not very frequently, because kayaking, it's frequently like $80 an hour to rent a kayak.
Oh, so, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not something that I do a lot. So that's a lot more than we're paying for my campsite. But I did in Mammoth Cave, I did rent a kayak for an afternoon. And, there's a river that flows through National Park, and I was able to kayak on that river, and I was in the national park the whole time. So there was absolutely nothing on the banks of the river other than just natural. A few little caves that you could go in from the riverbank, and trees, and so it was I was on it for about 2 hours, and it was just wonderful.
That sounds amazing.
Nothing commercial, nothing along the riverbank other than just the river. That was the Green River. So that was good. And then I didn't have my bike at the time, so I rented a bike periodically and rode on the trails. So I made it a resolution to exercise at least for an hour every day.
Very good.
So if I was driving, I would stop and do an hour's workout at the gym, or rent a bike for an hour and be on a trail. And then a lot of the hikes I did were like 2 or 3 hours. So those were more than my minimum, but I kept up my exercise. So yeah, I've stayed in really great shape. Feels wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds tremendous. And with that also, we were talking about, you're specializing with working with seniors, obviously, and one of the
Right.
things, we were talking about how a lot of them, we want to make sure that they prevent from falling. It's like their doctors always tell them, just be very careful. So when we were talking about working on their balance, I guess I'll let you go into detail a little bit here on the importance of those water aerobics and how seniors can go in the water to work on their balance and improve that.
Well, the thing in the water that what you can't just go do a water aerobics class. I mean, I've watched people. I've taught water aerobics for many years, and I've watched people.
Right.
Just because you're doing what the instructor is doing up on the deck, if you're not really locking down your core and working on producing your movements from your core. So if you're moving your arm in a circle, you need to have your core locked down while you're doing that, so that you're actually generating the movement from your core. And ideally, if you're in water aerobics, if you can, you're using a buoy, the water weights. Or you're using gloves, so you have some resistance.
Right.
So you use the resistance of the water, but you're locked down your core and you're moving your arm from your core. You're generating that movement in your abdominal muscles. And the same thing if you're lifting your legs, if you're kicking, or if you're kicking to the side, or if you're doing leg circles, or if you're doing squats in the water. Whatever you're doing, you have to shift that focus to your core. And if you're just standing there and you're kind of flopping around in the water and you're moving your arm, but you're moving your core from side to side, you don't have your core locked down to where you can generate the movement from there, then you're not really getting that core benefit. But if you do that, and it's more a mental thing. When I work with people, in water exercise is really what I call, rather than water aerobics, because the goal in water aerobics is to produce, increase your heart rate. So you can do that by running in the pool, or just straddling a noodle and paddling. And anytime you're doing any of that, though, if you just add the awareness that your core needs to be locked down. So if you're running, you need to pull your rib cage together, tighten up your abs, and then run. It's like you just add that awareness, and then you do whatever water exercise you're doing. And it will, and that's where your balance comes from. Is primarily from a strong core, because if your core is strong, then if you start losing your balance, you have the muscular strength to pull yourself back into balance.
That makes sense.
If you don't have a strong core and you start losing your balance, then you can't do anything about it. You just go down.
Right. And not to mention, Susan, but also, the benefit of the safetiness that you have in a pool, where if they do lose their balance, okay, that's all right. Yeah.
You go down, it doesn't matter.
Right,
you
right.
Just back up and work on it. So that's why it's such a great, safe place to start working on it.
Yeah, no, I like that.
And then you develop the strength in the water, and then you can start working. Then you can start doing things out of the water, and you've got the strength. So it's just a great place to start for seniors to start developing. Their core strength.
It definitely makes sense. And I know we talked also about one of the things that might deter them is when some seniors say, well, I don't want to change and get wet.
Right.
And so what's your kind of take on that, how to kind of get past that and convince some of the seniors to just go ahead and give it a shot?
Well, I like the water aerobics classes, and most of them, most people are willing to go to a class because their friends are there, and because there's camaraderie,
right,
and social connection when you're in a class. So it's not very. I mean, I can go because I've been doing it for so long and I know the value, I can just go to the pool by myself and run through my workout.
Yeah.
But not many people. But I have worked with people one-on-one in the pool. So you might find a trainer that would work with you that would also help you develop that focus, that core focus.
Mm-hmm.
Because your water aerobics instructor is probably not going to emphasize that. So, like, I had a session with a client the other day that is a religious water aerobics participant, and but I was coaching her on how to interpret, or how to modify. It's not necessarily modify. She's still doing the exercise that the instructor is offering, but you're adding that core awareness. So I don't know if somebody, and then another problem that some seniors have is incontinence. So they don't want to go in the pool because they don't feel like they don't have bladder control. So it's not for everybody. And, and I've had clients that I've worked with for years that I've been trying to get in the pool and I can't.
Okay.
They just don't, they just don't want to go get wet. So. Yeah. And of course, a lot of them have their hair done on a regular basis. So you can't you can't make people do it. But for those people that are willing to do it, it's a great foundation.
Yeah.
For every other piece of exercise you do.
Yeah, you're right, and I like how you also mentioned too that if people aren't aware, if they're eligible for silver sneakers, they could join an LA Fitness. Yeah, and most likely, if those fitness centers would offer like a water aerobics class, those would also be complimentary with their membership.
Yes, right. Yeah, everything's included. So if you join a gym under silver sneakers, you basically just get their gym membership.
That's excellent.
And you can go to anyone in the country. So as I'm traveling, I can just Google LA Fitness, and then a lot of times the YMCA has allowed silver sneakers. Not every Y does, but a lot of them do. So you can call the YMCA and find out if they take silver sneakers, and if they do, then most of them have a pool too.
That's really good.
So it's a good resource, especially in the winter if you need to find a gym. Of course, when I'm going down to St. Augustine, I go in the ocean. I've done water aerobics in the ocean.
That's amazing.
And, it's last year I was down there last January, and the water temperature was 64.
Oh my God! Oh wow!
So I was, but once you get in the water. And you start exercising, you start swimming, or you start doing water aerobics, it's not cold.
Wow.
It's, you kind of, you acclimatize. You are cold, but you're under the water, so the temperature doesn't change. And I found that it just, once the shock of going under the water, once you pass that, you can do it.
Yeah, the body just adjusts, I guess, huh?
Yeah. Well, I went to a gym in someplace in Indiana, and this was I couldn't find a free gym, so they charged me. They had a therapy pool and a cold pool, which was 54 degrees.
Oh, wow!
And that was awful. So you were supposed to go. So I did my water aerobics in the therapy pool, and then I swam some laps in the regular pool. And then I went in the hot tub to relax, and I'd always like to do my stretching in a hot tub if they have. So after you finish a water exercise workout, then it's good to go do into a hot tub if they have it, and do your stretching.
Yeah,
because your muscles get soft and warm, and you can do some nice stretching in there. But then they had this cold pool, and that was the way you were supposed to finish your workout. You were supposed to go sit in there they recommended a minute.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't make it for a minute because it was different from it was colder than the ocean had been, and I wasn't doing anything. So once I got in the ocean, I was moving around. But this, you were just supposed to. They had a little bench in there, and you were supposed to just sit. And I made it about 30 seconds, but I just decided that was not something. I'm not Swedish.
Plus,
that's a little much for me.
Yeah, I mean, a 10-degree difference. I mean, every degree when you're going down that cold makes a huge difference for sure.
It makes a huge difference, right? Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. But it was very invigorating. I was, I really caught my breath when I got into that water. So, and I was trying to get my head under.
Oh, God.
Because I did that in the ocean. I was diving under the waves, and I was completely immersed in the water there. But I just could not bring myself to get my head under that. I sat down up to my neck.
Oh, wow.
And I said, okay, so I'm just going to take a breath and go into the water, and I just couldn't make myself do it. So.
Amazing. Oh, wow. Gosh.
Anyway, but it was an experience. So.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. Well, again,
but that was a very nice gym that was kind of out in the boonies, a very small town.
Mm-hmm.
But it was, and the reason they didn't do silver sneakers is they didn't want to take that low. They charged $20 to go for a day.
Oh, and, right, of course.
But they had a lot of. That's where the therapists that worked in the town did their work.
Oh, okay.
So they had a gym, and then they had the pool, and they had so it was a venue for therapists to work at. So
yeah.
So it was very, very nice facility, brand new, very
nice.
Wow. But so I'm just finding out what kinds of places are all over the country where people do their exercise, and I'm thinking about, as I do my traveling this summer, I'm going to stop and I'll see if I could, I've done this before. I've done like a volunteer class, a chair exercise class at a senior center.
Okay.
So I just, just volunteer, just offer to run a class, for some seniors. I don't know if I'll be able to do that, but I'd like to be able to go into a senior center and see what they're doing. So that's a good way just to, to offer to do a class or a water aerobics class, and just kind of see what they're offering. So I'm going to be kind of popping in and out of senior centers as I travel this summer and see what's available for older people across the country.
Yeah, that's tremendous, because you'll be a perfect resource, Susan, for that for other people that are traveling. So
right.
Wow, well that's great, and I'm just so happy to finally get caught up with you, Susan, and I'm watching the time closely. I promised to get you out of here on time. Before we close up, I just wanted to ask you a couple more questions, Susan, if you don't mind. Sure. You had mentioned about offering health coaching now, and doing that obviously virtually. How best can people reach you and find you for those listening that want to get in touch with you?
Okay, I haven't really switched my website up for the health coaching, but you can find my website at finishwithaflourish.com.
Okay.
Or you can just give me a call. I'm going to be offering some specials over the winter before I actually launch my health coaching business. So if people are interested in getting in on a good deal of that, just give me a call at 404-358-1675. And I'm doing like a 3-month package at a substantially reduced rate before I get started, before I launch the business. So, and in order to do that, I'm looking for people to help give me feedback on the health coaching. So, so if somebody would like to try that out, we can do that.
Yeah, definitely. I know one person at the Family Life Center, Todd Stewart, would probably be interested. He'd probably be a good.
Love
Todd. Yeah, we should reach out to him.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, he'd be really good. Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent, Susan. Well, again, this was so much fun. Again, I'm so happy to get caught up with you.
It's so great to caught up with you.
Yeah. So congratulations on this new life journey that you're doing. And
Thank
again,
you.
It just sounds incredible. So be safe, and I wish you happy holidays, Merry Christmas season, and I'm sure I'll see you at the Family Life Center.
Thank you. The same to you, Taryn.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it, Susan.
Great.
And we'll see you soon, and take care.
Talk later.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.